Well, in fact, we are the only Indian news network to get a 360-degree view of what's really happening in Iran as well as in Israel. Let's take a look at what's happening right now in Tel Aviv, because what we have seen in the last 24 hours, that even though, Abhishek, Iran has been battered, they are certainly fighting hard. And this time, ballistic missiles have essentially been fired, and these ballistic missiles have been directed towards Tel Aviv. While Iranians say there is absolutely no red line whatsoever, which means civilian infrastructure has also been targeted. My colleague Nick is joining us from Tel Aviv. Nick, give us a sense of what's really happening currently in Tel Aviv. Where are you? And is this the same place which was targeted by the Iranians earlier today?
I'm standing now in the center of Tel Aviv, and this is the place that was damaged the most from the ballistic missile in this war. It happened on the first days, and you can see here behind me, so many civilian buildings were impacted just by one ballistic missile.
Nick,
one of those
Nick, sorry to interrupt you, but will it
Yes.
be possible for you? Will it be possible for you to move your camera and perhaps just show us the extent of damage and also help our viewers understand that is this a civilian area which has been targeted?
Sure, I will take the camera and I will show you. You can see here behind me, this is a civilian area. This is one of the most popular neighborhoods in the center of Tel Aviv. And you can see that those buildings are destroyed in a way that people can't live there anymore. And they were evacuated from those buildings. You can see here even the walls have holes inside of them. And if you will continue here, you will see that one of the buildings is completely missing because the Iranian ballistic missile hit the building that was here. And under the building, there was a really popular coffee place. I used to sit there also, and it's all gone. And you can see all the buildings here around also almost completely destroyed, and about 200 people were evacuated from those buildings because they are not livable anymore. And now they are living in hotels, and it will take a lot of time to assess if the other buildings can be strong enough to continue to contain people that will live there. And you can see this is a completely civilian area with so many destruction.
Thank you so much for bringing those pictures of the kind of destruction that's taking place on the Israeli side, also with those missiles hitting, Iranian missiles coming in. You said you used to sit there. This seems like a commercial place, or was a commercial place. Was it inhabited when this happened? Were there people there when this missile struck, and have there been some casualties?
Fortunately, Israelis are used to these kind of sirens, and they know what to do. All the Israelis, after decades of those bombardments from Iranian proxies like Hezbollah, the Houthis in Yemen, Hezbollah in Lebanon, and the Shia militias in Iraq and also in Syria, and the Hamas from Gaza Strip. Because of all of those bombardments, Israelis know what to do. And when they hear the sirens, and even before the sirens, they have a notification on their smartwatches, on their phones, that telling to them that they have about 12 minutes to find the shelter. And all the Israelis are going to shelters, protected areas, underground, and sometimes inside of the buildings. There are some areas that are protected, safe rooms that called mamads in Hebrew. But in this building, for your question, there was one casualty. It was a young woman in her 30s. She's from the Philippines, and she came to Israel to take care of an elderly woman, and she didn't want to leave her alone while there were sirens. She could go underground to save her life, in the bomb shelter with everybody, but she didn't want to leave the elderly woman. And because of that, she was killed by this missile. And she's the only person that was killed. There were some mild injuries, and the others survived because they were in the protected area.
Right, Nick, many thanks for joining us with that ground report. That was my colleague Nick, who was reporting live from Ground Zero, Israel, reporting from Tel Aviv. Now, shifting our focus to what's happening inside Tehran.